So hoping that you were going to be honest with me.
Hey there, Donna. I was muted here.
Okay, how are you this evening?
Good.
Good, good,
You
good.
think he will?
Glad
I know
you're here. You're on Menlo, aren't you?
a man that would take orders.
Yes, I'm actually the next door neighbor.
Just got
Oh, wow. Okay, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Ron is my neighbor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
the right way.
We'll start in a few minutes. Hi there, Kevin.
Want to be Neverland. And what about a Chateau Pink I'm excited, but I am so stressed out right now because you just never know with this bunch of girls. I mean, like, these girls are picked apart. If I'm not Chateau Spray, then I will say it's Chateau
I
Spray.
can hear somebody's background. Good evening, everyone. Good evening this rainy Sunday evening, December 15th, 2024. Here we are. Welcome to Witness to History this evening. And we have a wonderful opportunity to have a conversation with a longtime resident of Shaker of the Moreland community, Mr. Eric Brown. And as I am introducing our program this evening, we see all of our Moreland neighbors who have been a part of Witness to History since July of 2020. And here we are at the end of 2024 and looking forward to 2025. I'll share with you a little bit later who we can look forward to having a conversation with next month. Well, we're going to have a great conversation, but as always, I'd like to thank people who are here today, as well as to thank Kevin Kay always over these years for this idea of Witness to History, for Carmela and many others who have introduced me to some of our guests, for Donna Johnson. I see Donna's here. Donna's here, who introduced me to Mr. Brown, and to Theo Darden for keeping us informed. And of course, Megan Hayes. I don't know if she's here with us this evening, but Megan keeps us posted on the Moreland site in the library, so that if anybody wants to look at our interviews that have been since 2020, you're welcome to do so. And of course, John, my partner. Hello there, John. Who always just, makes Witness to History look really easy, but I know better. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. And Mr. Brown, Eric Brown. Thank you so much for agreeing to be our guest this evening. Thank you.
You are very welcome. It's my pleasure.
Oh, yes, it's our pleasure for sure. So, we're going to learn more about Mr. Brown this evening, and any and everybody can chime in. You can post a message in the chat, or, at the end of our conversation, if you want to chime in, even while we're talking, please just, let us know if there's something that you'd like to add to the conversation. So, I'm Donna White. Oh, for anybody who may be tuning in for the first time and maybe looking at this program, online, I'm Donna White, and I've been in the Moreland neighborhood for decades, since 1990. All right, so Mr. Brown, Eric Brown, when and why, this is the first question that I ask everybody. When and why did you move to Moreland?
When and why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Well, I moved
you
to
didn't have anything to
Moreland.
do with it, but tell us, tell us your story.
Okay. Well, my dad, which I consider my real dad, because I have known him since the age of 4. My real dad, I just met one time. I was 20 years old in uh, 1983.
Hmm.
But we moved over here because we lived off of Quincy, I think it was,
Mhm.
and my mom and us moved here in 67, um, to this house on Mentlow. Um, if things would have worked out right, I probably wouldn't been in Moreland area. I'm not
Mm.
gonna say right, but my dad, from what my mom told me, tried to buy a house on Milverton,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
he wasn't making enough to get a loan for that house on Milverton. So we wound up here on Mentlow, and I enjoyed it, enjoyed it, enjoyed it.
Wonderful.
I can remember when we first moved over here, the street was predominantly white,
Mhm.
living over here. I think we was maybe the fourth or fifth family over here.
Mhm.
Because we had my neighbors on the left. I think Donna Johnson and them was over here. A friend of mine that I definitely know, my best friend Dwayne Gatson. Because I said when I was 4 or 5, I can remember back then. I remember him, and to
Nice.
this day we are still real good friends. I
That's
mean real, and I mean real friends.
that's wonderful neighborhood.
So I consider this my home. I've been here for 57 years
Oh. Mhm.
at this house. Even when I bought a house on Harvard, I kept this my primary
Oh, okay.
a residence.
Okay. Okay.
So, like I
That's
said, my
wonderful.
mom and dad got married, and this is where I've been ever since.
All right. So this is tell us this is your mother and father. Tell us about this picture.
Yes, that's my mom and dad on their wedding day. I remember they got married in September. I can't remember the date. Well, okay, if I was 4, so that was in 67 that they got married.
Okay. Okay.
That picture is taken right in the kitchen where I'm sitting at now. Because my dad, I mean, you can see part of the curtain. So that's the window that we look out of.
Okay.
But that's where they had the cake and the food in our kitchen. And
That
that's what that is right there.
and they got married right in the house,
Yes.
right where you are. Here's another picture
Yes.
of the wedding.
Okay. Now that picture, the little guy in the front of my mom, that's me. I have my cousins and my aunt on my right. The oldest cousin, which is Marcianette, is on the left. Her mom is on the far right. Shadina that's her mom holding her. And that's the baby girl, Dawn.
Oh,
I don't know who some of these other people are, like the lady, the third from the left, that's my cousin Ezel. I can't remember the guy's name next to my mom, but the lady next to the guy next to my mom, that's also my cousin. That's
oh,
Anne Marie. Anne Marie and that's her sister. The third one from the left, those two are sisters.
nice.
And the other one, two, three people, I don't know who they are.
Yes. Well, if you show this picture to a few people, I bet they could share this. It's a beautiful picture. It's a beautiful.
Well, you know what? It's all of my immediate family is gone.
Mm.
The last one that we buried this year is Anne Marie. So that's the lady next to the guy in the white
Mm.
next to my mom. So she was
Okay.
the last one. She passed this year at the
Oh,
age
wow.
at the ripe age of 97.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Our condolences to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the other one, I really don't like to say bad things, but my cousin, the little girl, well, she wasn't little because she's older than me. On the right, I can't remember how many years ago that was, but they found her body over there on Union. Somebody killed her and left her out in the field.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow, how sad. Hmm. Well, I have a few people who have chimed in already. Donna Johnson said, "Hey, Donna and John. Hello, everybody, everyone." And then Theo Darden has here downtown Eric Brown. Have you heard that before?
Yes, yes.
And Donna Johnson also says, "This is a beautiful picture of your mom."
Thank you, Donna.
Beautiful picture of your mom. That's wonderful. So you went to Moreland Elementary School.
Yes, I
Yeah.
went to Moreland kindergarten to sixth grade. The two principals that I remember, the first one was Miss Green.
Mm-hmm.
The second one was Mr. Buchanan.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two. I can remember Miss Green very well. One day I was walking in the hallway. Well, I wasn't walking. I was running in the hallway in front of the
Okay.
office, and she caught me.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, these teachers, they could paddle you or whatever. So what she did, she got me by my arm, and she made me bend over with the backside of myself out in the hallway,
Mm.
and she swatted me.
Mm.
And
Mm.
she swatted me one time, and that was it.
Mm.
Because when she swatted me, I had a bunch of the old Partridge Family cards. They was like baseball and football cards. You get a stick of gum and you get some cards,
Yes.
a
Yeah.
few cards. So I had just about all of the Partridge Family cards, and I had them in my back pocket.
Oh.
And she didn't see them when she swatted me. So when she swatted me, it didn't hurt me, but
Mm.
it hurt her hand. And she took all my Partridge Family cards and never gave
Oh,
them back
wow.
to me.
Wow, what a story. Oh my God. Oh, never gave him back.
No, never gave them back to me.
Okay, well, that was the punishment.
Yes.
I'm sure it took a while for you to collect them. I'm sure it
Yes.
took a while for you to collect them. So, so you're an only child. That's what you shared with me.
Yes. I'm the only child
Okay.
by my mom. My
Okay.
real dad, like I said, I met him, my sister, and one brother. And like I said, I met them in 83.
Mhm.
So I was 20. So that was 40 something years ago.
Mhm. Yes, isn't it something? I mean,
Yeah, on the 4th of July. He was
okay.
supposed to come over to the house, but he wanted me to meet him down on Longwood. And like I said, I met one brother and one sister. I can't remember my brother's name, but my sister, her name is Marcia Smith.
Mm.
And he spoke to me a little bit. He told me, don't loan my brother no money. I told him I don't know him that well to even loan him any money. I got along with my sister a little bit better. Well, I got along with her real good from the time that I met her. She wanted to keep up with me. She did. So she was telling me more about my family on my dad's side.
Mm-hmm.
Just something I want to throw out at you now. Like I said, I don't know nothing about my real dad, but my real dad was a minister.
Mm.
My stepdad was a minister. So I'm sorry, pastor. I'm sorry, pastor. I always get those two mixed up. My wife is a minister.
Oh, nice.
She is. So church thing here. But like I said, my sister was telling me about her exact words was dad was a Rolling Stone. Because she was telling me that my dad had 4 more kids. They were stair step when I was 20. And my sister told me it's like 5 of them. but I only got to meet two of them. Was my sister and my half brother. And that was the year I was going to the service, and I didn't keep up with her like I wanted to or should have, because I had got letters from my dad that I don't even remember. I was going through some books, not books, suitcases, and I found letters in there. And I'm like, okay, I don't remember these letters that he sent me. And but they was opened up by me. I had a phone number in there. I tried to call. Phone number changed. As me and my sister was getting to know each other, she had asked me where did I live. And I said, I live in Shaker Heights. And she like, where in Shaker Heights? I told her, I said, I live on Mentlow. So she said, oh, you live on Mentlow? I'm like, yes. So she's telling me, she said, you know, I'm a tomboy. I said, she got more male friends than she got female. So she asked me, she said, well, do you know Mark Bufford, Eric Lewis, Butchie Robinson? I said, I know all three of them. I said, Eric Lewis lives down the street on the other end, across the street. Butchie Robinson lives on my end, down the street. And Mark Bufford lives right across the street from me. And I told her, I said, if you walk out of his door, you'll walk right into our house. So like I said, I wish I would have kept up with her, because I'm trying my best to find her. As now, like I use social media.
Yes.
You know, I can't.
Facebook and all.
Right. Because to tell you the truth, the Browns and Smiths can have a phone book of their own.
Yes, of course.
You know,
yes,
and then if she got married, I wouldn't know her maiden name, or I mean her married name.
Yes.
So, but to this day, I am still looking.
Well,
for
probably find her if you're making that effort. So after high school, you mentioned the military. We have this, wonderful picture, your picture on the front in the military. And you said that you went into the military almost right out of high school. Tell us about your service.
Yes. Well, two things I wanted to be, and I knew that from a young age. It was the service, and I wanted to be a Mason. So my head was strongly for the military. But I was a little skinny kid, weighed 163 most of my life. And I'm looking at these old movies or war movies, like Officer and the Gentleman, Hamburger Hill. And I'm looking at the way these drill sergeants would basically beat up on the new recruits, because back then I guess they could do that. And I was kind of scared, because I'm like, I'm just a little skinny kid, weigh 163 pounds, and I was scared of that. Friend of mine went in before me, so he came back, so he was telling me a little bit about it. That it really wasn't like that. But I had a tough choice to make, because we got 4 branches, and the Navy, I would have went, but I didn't know how to swim real good. Because I'm thinking of the negative things. I'm like, you're out on the ocean, and ship goes down. I can't do none of that. The Marines, they was too tough for me. I really didn't want to do that. So the other two was the Army and the Air Force. So the Air Force, I thought about. If I would have went in the Air Force, I would have wanted to fly a plane. But you had to have college up under your belt. And I didn't go to college. I didn't. So I went into the Army.
Okay.
Did basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia. AIT, I was supposed to go to, trying to remember where I was at, Fort Jackson. And I was looking forward to going to Fort Jackson because I had an old girlfriend. That's where she was stationed at.
Okay.
So when I thought I was going, they had changed everything that now you do AIT where you do your basic at.
Oh, so you didn't go, you didn't end
I didn't go.
up. Okay.
So like I said, I did that after we graduated, met some good friends there. Wish I would have kept up with some of them, but I think I could get in touch with them better because the stuff that they give you when you get out, like the people that came in with you, they got their names, their social security numbers on things. So I believe I could still get in touch with some of them.
Yeah. So you spent 3 years in Germany.
3 years.
Tell us about that. That tour.
Okay. After basic, before I'm gonna say before they shipped us overseas, we got to come home for 3 days. So I went to Germany, a very little place called Illesheim.
Okay.
It's one of the smallest army posts there. Then you got Nuremberg, Frankfurt, a couple more places. But I was at Illesheim, me and a couple more that I did basic with. I spent 18 months there. Really, really enjoyed it. Got to meet, like I said, you meet people from all over.
Yes.
You do. When I went, I call it they was giving away rank. You still had to earn it, but it didn't take you as long to get rank. So I made spec 4 within a year. You know, because I went in as a private. There's like 2 privates, private with no stripes, a private with a stripe. So okay, then you got private first class. Then you got spec 4. Then after that, you could do corporal or sergeant. But I did that. Like I said, met a lot of good friends. I believe that because I was from the States and you got a lot of people from the States, you had a tighter group of people and friends.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You didn't have to worry about nothing. If we was out, somebody wanted to mess with me or vice versa, you had to mess with everybody, that was in the service.
All right.
That was out, so
Yes.
there'd be about 20 of us. So that found out that Germany was still a little prejudiced when I went over there. There's clubs that some of us used to go to. Well, most of the people that was over there, they was Hispanic or white. They invited me to a club, and I didn't know about it, so I asked them. I said, "You sure they're gonna let blacks in?" Oh yeah, they have blacks there. They have blacks there. But the people that had the club, they knew those blacks. Because when I went, I was talking to somebody, and they went in, and they waited on me. So when I went in, the German guy told me, "No GIs. No GIs can come in here." So my friend is there, and they're like, "Well, wait a minute, we're GIs. We always come here." So I just told them, "Don't even worry about it." I got in my car, I went on back, on post, and because you had everything you wanted to do on post. You had your movie theater, you had your stores and stuff like that.
It's good. You said that you ran cross country in high school and then continued that while you were in the military?
Yes. Cross country runner for Woodbury,
Okay.
That was
Okay.
the junior high I went to
Junior
and graduated from Shaker. And
Mhm.
I did cross country in Shaker.
All right.
So I did that. They would give us PT tests. It was supposed to be every 6 months, but it seemed like we was doing that every month because as I was in basic training,
Mm-hmm.
I could never do my max in push-ups.
Mm.
I couldn't do my max in sit-ups, but I could do my max in running. I would always beat that time.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I got good enough that I maxed out my sit-ups, but like I said, I couldn't max out my push-ups.
Well, all of that's just strenuous.
Right.
And I'm sure that they probably were asking for a lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a lot because like I said, you do your PT test, supposed to be every 6 months, but we would compete against other companies. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because you got headquarters company, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Deco companies. So we would each company would compete against each other.
Uh-huh.
So I will always be the one, you know, like I said, I can max out two things. Like I said, I can max out the sit-ups and the running. Um, and that's what they will do. You will have to go through that.
All right.
So when I was over there, they decided to do I'm gonna call it a test where your sit-ups, your push-up. We was doing no, I'm sorry, that was wrong. They was doing cross country.
Mm-hmm.
So all what it was a 2 mile run, and it was me, some more Army people, and a couple of German.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody thought I was going to win because I was the fastest, you know, runner. Me and that guy, we took off, and they're making bets. I remember a couple people who was betting on me to win, and I had the big head.
Okay.
We took off like it was just a 2 mile run, and we're running. Me and the German guy, we're passing each other up. You know, I pass him up, he passed me up, and I got the big head, and I told him, I said, I will see you back on post. He took off like a rocket. All what I saw was his back end, and I could not catch up with him. I couldn't. So, but I did come in second.
Okay. Okay. That's a good
So
story. That's a good one. That's a good one. Well, you mentioned that there were two things you wanted to do. You wanted to be in the military and you wanted to be a Mason.
yes.
So you did both. So tell us about the fact that you are a member of the Prince Hall Lodge.
Yes. Okay.
And tell us about Masonry too, you know. I
Okay,
mean,
I will definitely do that. I kind of just give something. If I would have known, like I said, I knew about masonry, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that the Army had Masons in it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because I could have joined when
Mm-hmm.
I was in Germany or Fort Knox, because my second duty station was Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
It was. But this picture that you have right here, that is December of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
We have our elections that month, like we got some going on now this month. 2023, well, 2022 is when I got installed as worshipful master.
Mm-hmm.
So this is part of my line officers, some of my members. That's me sitting in the middle.
Yes.
My senior warden is sitting on the, well, it'll be the left of you. My junior warden is on the right. We got stewards and deacons. You have the guys with the poles.
Mhm.
Those are senior deacons, junior deacons, senior steward, junior steward.
Okay.
The ones with the collars, the guy on the left, he's a grand officer.
Mm.
And the guy if you're looking on the right, the second one from me, he's a grand officer.
Okay.
Then you have past masters that are up there. Because the way you become a worshipful master is you go through your line.
Mhm.
You could skip a seat, because the main seats is the stewards, the marshal, the deacons.
Okay.
Because when I came in, there was 20 of us, and the worshipful master back then was Henry Cook the Third, and he put all of us in line. None of my brothers, or we call them cable toes, is like, so whenever you come in, let's say it's 20 of us, there may be 5 in one of the different lodges. You are always going to be a cable toe.
Mm.
So this picture has none of my cable toes in it when I came in.
Okay.
But like I said, you go through your seats, you do junior steward, senior steward, then you jump to junior deacon, senior deacon.
Mm-hmm.
Then if it goes right,
Mm-hmm.
you go over to junior warden, then you have senior warden.
Okay.
So the way that line would go is the way that I kind of explained to you. But okay, if you're junior warden, you have 2 years before you're worshipful master.
Oh, okay.
Okay, then you would go up to senior warden, which now you only have a year
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
before you're worshipful master. So you would move up every year.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's why, like I said, on the left side, that's my senior warden, and the one on the right side, he's my junior warden. So and that's the way we go and move up.
And I Seal Baldridge is asking, what Masonic Lodge is this?
Okay, well that's considered my lodge. That's William T. Boyd, 79.
Mm-hmm.
You got Eureka, Ecclesiastes, Excelsior. Those are the 4 lodges. Then you have sister lodges. Queen Elizabeth, Wisdom, Ecclesiastes, and Queen Elizabeth.
Wow.
Yes, so those are our sister lodges. So every lodge has a sister lodge. So I'm William T. Boyd. Wisdom 51 is our sister lodge.
Okay.
So with that, you do COVID kind of messed it up for some of us. But there's 2 lodges that they do 2 years of being worshipful master. William T. Boyd, like I said, they did 2 because of COVID.
Oh, okay.
I served 1 year. The guy on the right of me, his lodge serves 1 year. Now the 2 on the left of me, their lodge, they do 2 years as being worshipful master.
Wow.
They do.
Wow, what an education.
Yeah.
I want to chime in here that Pam Fletcher says, Eric, I'm so glad that Eartha Kennerly introduced us. That's from Pamela Fletcher.
Yes.
And also she asked the question, what made you want to become a Mason?
Well, like I said, that was something I wanted to do when I was little. I knew when I was 12 years old that I wanted to be a Mason, and like I said, go into the service. I could have been a Mason earlier, but you go through this, I'm going to say, process. You don't have to, but The men has a kids group called the Pythagoreans.
Mhm.
The women, the OES, they have a group which is called what is it? Girls Assembly. So what we do, the men, we're now what's the word I want to say? Because I don't like the word train because you train animals. We are mentors
Mhm.
for the young Pythagoreans, like the sisters are mentors for the girl. So we start them out at they come in at a young age. They could come in at the age of 8. So we take them to Toledo. We take them there. Now they have little like their queens. They even have titles. They could get so far up in that right there. With that. But like I said, it's just I hope I'm answering her question because I
Yes.
was all over. But I knew at the age of 12 that was something I wanted to do. And the only way I found out about that was Joan Hampton. She's a Eastern Star, and her husband is a Mason. And Joan Hampton and my friend Connie Bowles that used to live on this street. I don't know if Pam knows her, but she was going to be an Eastern Star. And she told me she said, "Oh, Eric, I'm going to be an Eastern Star." And I'm like, I always wanted to be a Mason, but I don't know nobody, or don't know how to get in contact with anyone. So she told her sister Joan Hampton. Joan Hampton talked to her husband. He signed my petition. So when you do your petition, they'll come over, interview you, ask you questions. If you're married or whatever, one person to talk to your wife or your girlfriend to let them know what we are about to get into. And a lot of the guys, their wives or girlfriends is okay with that because what we do, we don't want to disrupt a family. Because if there's a situation y'all aren't getting along right, because we're going to be taking a lot of your time because it takes 6 months for a man to be a Mason.
Okay.
It only takes, I think it's 3 months for a woman or OES, because a man can be in OES. A woman cannot be a Mason in the U.S. They cannot know, I forgot what country, but I know they have women Masons. They do. But yeah, it takes 6 months. We tell the wives, I'm just gonna let you know your husband wants to be a Mason, and it's gonna take him 6 months. Then after he get out of that, if he makes it, because a lot of people drop out. A lot of people drop out, and so we just tell them, we don't want to mess up nothing. So if a wife tells us that, well, me and my husband, we're having problems, the person that's talking to the wife, they'll come back in while we're interviewing the husband, and we'll just whoever talked to his wife will just come in and say, well, right now at this time, we can't accept you.
Yes.
But you have 6 months, for your wife to change her mind. We'll come back in 6 months. Then we're going to do the same thing. Like I said, we're not trying to disrupt no family.
Yes. And Pam Fletcher says, congratulations on becoming a worshipful master and Seal Baldridge shares that her mother was an Eastern Star in Virginia. In Virginia. Yes,
okay.
Eastern Star.
Oh,
So,
a-
yes.
and with that, I was a past patron. So past patron stands on the left side of an OES woman.
Wow.
They do. So that's high up there too.
We could talk about this all a lot, so
Sure.
much information you're sharing that, that we don't know. Tell us about this picture of you holding this trophy.
Okay, that trophy in August. August is our dark month that we don't have no meetings or whatever. That's in Columbus. We always go in Columbus in August. They give us awards like for Lodge of the Year.
Mhm.
You have Chapter of the Year for the women. That one, because I told you wrong the other day, because I have the trophy right here in my hand. That's for top lodge award. So that's what we won in 2023 for that. So you get graded on your realistic work, because everything that we do, like when you come in, there's 3 degrees for a man. You come in as an apprentice, you get raised as a fellow, you get passed to a fellow craft and raised as a master mason.
Okay.
So all 3 of those take 2 months. That's why it's a total of 6 months. It is.
All right. And Seal says, I like your collar. Good work.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you mentioned 2023, there was something else that happened in 2023 that seems like it was a very important event in your life. So
Okay.
if we can talk about.
Okay. Could I just say just a couple of things?
Yeah, sure.
Because a lot of people, like she was saying, what do we do? We our lodge, which is on 144th and Kinsman. We do food pantries from April through August. We give away coats for the kids. We feed the community. We do like every Thanksgiving, the month of Thanksgiving, we do Thanksgiving dinners. AJ Rickoff, the school that's next to us.
Yes.
Like for Christmas last week, we always donate toys and coats to AJ Rickoff. I had a picture, but like I said, I didn't want to give you too many. I don't know if they did it this year because I didn't go this year, but we go downtown and we give homeless people blankets. Because there was a picture I was going to give. It was one of the other Worshipful Masters. They took a picture of the guy. He's already laying down in the street. He got a cover up, but we took a picture of him, giving him another blanket. We do. We adopt families. The fire that I don't know if y'all remember on Kinsman, it was the little tire shop next to Audie's. That house burnt up.
Yes.
So we
I remember that.
That's who William T. Boyd family we adopted. We gave them a check for $500. We know nowadays $500 don't do too much, but it helped.
Yes.
She had kids. We got clothes and stuff for them.
Wow.
We did.
Amazing service. My goodness. My goodness. That's
okay.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Okay. Now you was talking about that little incident.
I think John has a. Yes, John has a little.
Beyond the children, beyond the ones who make it brighter than day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our
Tell us a little bit more.
Okay, that picture, we always have, William T. Morris always has a Master Mason Dinner Award. That's when the lodges and chapters gets together. We present plaques, little things, for like in your lodge. I gave out 2 Master Masons Awards. That was to my secretary, Richard Johnson, and a friend of mine, Doug Cobbs. And we do that every year. The women does the same thing for us. But that was before our banquet. We take pictures, and I took that picture and I forgot I had added that the We Are the World to it. Because I also sent that to my friend Doug, because I took a picture of him and his wife, and I did the same thing.
Well,
But that was
your wife in this picture. Okay, this is your wife, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So that was before the banquet.
Mhm.
We always have our banquets out at Doubletree in Westlake. We do, and we have a pretty good crowd. The banquet hall holds a little bit over 300, and it's always full.
Oh, nice.
Always full.
Nice, very nice. So I understand that you and your wife were married in 2023.
Yes, that is correct. 2023.
Yes, yes.
The
And your wife's
Um,
name? Tell us. And your wife's name?
Kimberly Ann Brown,
All right, Kimberly Ann Brown.
which she is here now.
Yes, she can, she can poke her head in and say hi.
Okay, want you to poke your head here.
Yes.
Okay, she's shaking it, but she's
Oh,
coming.
okay, okay. You can be on camera.
Hi,
Hello there. How are
how
you?
are you?
Oh, very good. Very good. So nice meeting you. Thank you for
Nice to
joining
meet
us.
you as well.
And we'll have to get you and have listen to your story now. You're a Moreland neighbor.
The funny
Nice.
thing is my grandmother lived at the other end of the street.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
So what's your grandmother's name? Some people may
Geraldine Meeks.
Geraldine Meeks. I wonder, do you know who that is, Mrs. Hooper? No? Okay, we have some longtime, Moreland residents here
Yeah, that's why I
online.
told him it's really funny. I was down there and I went to Moreland too
Oh,
before I
okay.
went over into Cleveland schools.
Okay, all right.
So it's
So,
like my life came full circle.
oh my
I'm
goodness.
back on Menlo.
Oh well. Uh-oh. Give me a little idea here. I'll be talking to you later. Family. All right, that's nice. That's,
He has a pretty wife. You have a pretty wife.
Thank you. Praise God. Thank you.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, you can hang out with us. I think we have pictures of your children, Eric.
Yes.
Yes. Tell us about your daughters.
All right, these are my 2 daughters, my twins.
Yes.
The top one on the left, that's my baby girl. She's 21.
Mhm.
She's born on the same day that my uncle is, May 15th.
All right.
Okay, that's Jasmine. Then it's Angela. She
Mm,
is born when is February 13th, 1990, the day
Okay.
before Valentine's Day. And those other 3 are my grandkids. They're missing one.
Okay.
So the oldest one is Andrea.
Mhm.
The middle one is Kennedy. That's Gerald. And the
Mhm.
one that's missing is Cameron.
Cameron.
Now Gerald, that's right there. He was born on my birthday when I turned 50 years old.
Okie doke. All righty. That was your birthday gift.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
And I tell people like I said, both of my girls look like me, but the middle one, I always tell people, if I was a girl, the middle one, that's me.
I said the same thing when I saw her picture. I was like, oh,
You
wait.
know, I mean, I can't deny neither one of those two
That's
at all.
beautiful family. Absolutely beautiful
Thank
family.
you.
And we have another picture that I forgot to show to have everybody see and go back a little bit into your life in your early years. Here we are.
All
Somebody,
right.
okay, tell us who's in this picture and what this occasion may have been.
Okay. There may be about 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm. Your little
That
picture.
fire truck is right in front of my house. The little guy that's on the left, that's Donna Johnson's little brother,
She had
Curtis.
put in the chat, that's my brother.
The little guy in the middle, I can't remember his name. And the other one, that's me.
Yep.
I don't know why the fire truck was over there, because I really don't remember that there was being a fire, but I could kind of remember the day that it was taken.
Nice.
The fire truck pulled up. The little boy's father, the one in the middle, his father asked the fire department, could we sit up there and take a picture?
Oh, that's nice.
And they said yes.
Okay, it's nice you
And
still have this picture.
yeah, so he had to develop. You know, I think he did. You know, he did 2 that I know of. I don't know if Curtis got one, but because it's on a little Polaroid,
Oh,
what's called that comes out and is the Polaroid, but it has the date automatically stamped on it. So
oh,
I
good.
got one of those, and I know he got one, but I know Curtis didn't get one, because when I showed him, he was surprised.
Okay, and Donna says,
Of it.
she's never seen this picture before.
Yeah.
So here it is. You
Yeah.
know,
So it even has the date on it, but I couldn't find the original because I took a picture of that one to send to Curtis. So I don't, have the date. I didn't put the date part on there.
nice. You said you were not in school yet, though, so that's a
Yeah, like I said, I think it was about 4 or 5. Cause like I said, I know you start kindergarten at the age of 5.
nice.
You do.
Yes. Well, I know that for many years, you were a RTA bus driver.
Yes.
Yes, and many people may know you because of that. The people who ride the bus and and you were there for how many years?
I did 28. I did 28, and I used my service time, so that gave me 3 more years. I'm just going to jump back real quick. I worked at McDonald's. Then I went to the service, because it's right after I graduated. Went to the service, came back. McDonald's was the only place that I wanted to work at. Wendy's the second time, but nobody would call me. So I went there, went back there, and a couple of my friends, they worked at RTA. And I had a friend well, he wasn't a friend then, but he always come in McDonald's, and he'll stop the bus, or he'll come in when he's in his car, and he always get chicken nuggets. He always liked the fresh ones. So if I knew he was coming and he wants some, I would put fresh ones in there. But what it was, I had 2 friends that worked at RTA, and I wanted to work there too. And I will always ask them, would you let me know when RTA is hiring? Every time I saw them, is RTA hiring yet? No, RTA ain't hiring. My best friend, I don't think he looked at the board a lot, I'm like, are they hiring? So my friend that was, well, like I say, he wasn't my friend at the time, that drove the bus, I had asked him.
Mhm.
And Robinson, his last name is Robinson. I'm trying to remember his first name, but like I said, he would come in McDonald's, and I would always ask him. Well, I asked him, I said, you work at RTA, could you let me know when RTA is hiring? His name is Maurice Robinson.
Mm.
And he's a pastor. So he just got his church a new one. But I would ask him. So every time he would come in, I said, "Is RTA hiring?" So he told me, he said, "Eric, I'm going to let you know when they're hiring. You don't have to keep on asking me." Okay. Well, I kept on asking my two friends, is RTA hiring? Nope, nope, nope. I was at work one day, he came in, and I asked him, I said, so you want those nuggets? Because I remember he said, no, I just want to let you know RTA is hiring.
All right. All
So he
right.
told me, and that was, I think, the day before Martin Luther King Day, because I was going to go down the next day. And he told me, he said, the office will be closed, so you're gonna have to wait, till the next day. So what I did, I went, because I knew of Woodhill Garage. I went down there. They told me you had to go downtown. Did that, filled out application. It took me a total of 6 months.
Mm.
You go down there, you take this test, which, tell you the truth, don't make no sense at all.
Okay.
Like some of the questions. Now, these are questions that they had on the test. What's the highest grade you completed?
Mhm.
What's the highest grade your mother completed?
Mhm.
Then they would ask you stuff. If you worked at a job and you saw somebody stealing something, would you tell? So then they switch. So then they would switch it around. Okay, if you and your family member worked somewhere and you saw them steal something, would you tell?
Mm.
Um, so they're asking these questions, and to this day, I think they still got them, because a couple of my cousins came in way after I did, and some of the questions was on there, and it's like, in your lifetime, have you been mistreated? I mean, just silly stuff. So it wasn't funny, but it was the question near the end. And the exact words was, in your lifetime, do you think God has mistreated you?
Mhm.
And I'm
Interesting.
like, I sat there, and I was upset about that.
Mhm.
So at that time, I really didn't care about the rest of the answers that you had to give answers to, but I passed.
Okay.
Because I have coworkers, we talk, and and we got into this conversation about, well, how many times did you take the test?
Mm.
Oh, I only took it one time. How many times did you take it? Oh, it took me 3 tries to, before they hired me. So, we did that. You go through a training.
Mhm.
They tell you, they give you the rules. They want you to follow the rules. And they tell you this, that you don't need to be no mean bus driver,
Mhm.
because you have people, your regular passengers that comes on. And in training, they even told, they said, you know what? Your passengers will take up for you.
Mm.
And they told us that if you ain't never lied at a job, you'll definitely lie about things at this job.
Mm.
So just one situation, I was driving late at night, and I was on the 19. I was in front of the baseball stadium, and I dozed off at the light.
Mm. Mhm.
So I let up off the brake, and I bumped into somebody.
Mm.
So the guy got out. I mean, he's just a fussing. Oh, you gonna get fired. You gonna do this and that. So a couple of my passengers heard me arguing with the guy. So they're like, what happened? I said, man, I dozed off and my foot let up off the brake. So we just bumped the guy.
Mm.
So like the guy's at my side window, and two of the guys, they act like they didn't know what had happened, but they came up. They were like, "What's going on? What's going on?" So I just told him. I said, the guy said I bumped this car. The two passengers told the guy. He said, "This bus driver didn't bump into your car. We saw you put your car in reverse and you ran to the bus."
Oh, okay.
So that's why I say you don't treat people bad, because you will never know
Mm.
what what they'll do for you.
Yes, absolutely.
And that was one of the things that the lady told us, that your passengers, some of them will lie for you. They know you're in the dead wrong. They will lie for you.
Something they probably been on your bus before. I have a couple of things. Donna Johnson, Pam Fletcher has here. I think you were trying to think of somebody's name. Butchie?
Yes, Butchie Robinson.
Butchie, okay. And then Donna Johnson has all three of the guys' friends, Eric, Curtis, and Dwayne, became career drivers, career bus drivers. Yes.
Oh, and I'm glad she kind of said that, because I remember we kind of had a pack.
Mm.
We used to do things wrong when we was kids, because it was CTS back then. I think it changed in 76 or 77 in RTA. But we would go up to the Van Aken Rapid. We would shortchange the buses back then for school kids. I can remember it was like, I'm serious, I think it was like 13 cents. And we wouldn't pay the bus, all the, because it didn't count the what y'all like it does now.
Mhm.
We would get on when the driver was at Van Aken. He'd go to the little diner that was up there. We would go on there, take transfers, open the door, sit on the bus. The bus driver come back and, why are y'all on? Well, the door was open. And they say you don't never say what you won't do.
Right.
Because our little pack was, we would never be bus drivers.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
all three of us, like I said, my best friend Dwayne, me, and Curtis, are bus drivers.
that's something. And
Well, me and Dwayne retired. So
what's Curtis's last name? Somebody was asking.
Adams.
Adams. That may
Yeah.
be somebody that she knows. That may be somebody that she knows. This is fascinating. Actually, one of the things that when Donna Johnson and I were talking a few weeks ago, she says, they call you the mayor of Menlo. Okay, mayor.
Okay. Well, how that happened? Well, I kind of made myself or acted like that. We had lady on the street. Pam may know her, but I know Donna know her. The lady, her name is Gladys Elders. She's no longer with us. But I know she was, I think, the first Black family on this street from what she told me and my mom. Because when they moved over there, she was telling us that her husband came home a couple of times because they had just moved in, and Shaker police followed her husband. And he told the police that he lived on Mentlo. So I guess they didn't believe him, and they followed him home and walked up to the door. She said they escorted my husband to the front door because I guess they thought he was lying. And when I opened the door, which I mean I was Miss Elders. So she was the main one. And she was the lady that knew everything. Like that skit on in Living Color.
Okay.
Miss Benita, she knows everything. She's got her head hanging out, and don't tell them Miss Benita told you this.
Right.
But Miss Elders, she knew a lot. She would try to make sure that our street was the way it was supposed to be. If you didn't know something and you want to know, you go to Miss Elders.
All right.
Miss Elders would tell you things, and if she didn't know, she would tell you, I don't know, but I will let you know.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
She used to get on, they had an empty field. I don't remember the house being there, but we as kids, we would always go to empty fields because we didn't want to walk up to Shelton. So we would play in that yard right next to her house. She will always kick us all off of there, and she would tell us, y'all need to go up to Shelton Park and play. You can't play right here. And as kids, you say things, but it's not like it is now. I know she kicked us off and told us that, and I think somebody said, well, but Miss Elders, we don't want to go up to Shelton because it's too far. She says, well, you got to get off that empty lot. And I remember somebody telling her in a polite manner that I do remember, but Miss Elders, you don't own this lot. So I kind of remember saying, oh, it's all right. It's all right. I think a month later, she had bought the lot. So we went up there. Hey, I remember coming out and saying that I can't remember which one of y'all said I don't own the lot, but I own this lot right now.
There you go.
Okay, so now, would y'all please don't play on the lot.
Oh, that's
so I guess she kind of got
she took that.
But then she kind of got nice because I would always think she was nosy, but I understand. Now she had two kids, Marcia Elders and Alvin. Alvin was the baby boy. So what she did, she put swings up there. Those little things you sit on that's like four, and you rock it and you go around in a circle. She put a little swimming pool there. And she would invite us over there.
Oh, nice.
Come on, I don't want y'all doing this, huh? It's safer over here.
Yeah.
With that. So after she got sick and passed, since I was like the next longest family over here, as I call it, I kind of took that up. I got a neighbor across the street, Jackie Blackwell. I don't know if she's on here. She said she's probably gonna show up. I know she was telling me about my mom. Because when they moved over here, she backed her truck on her lawn. So she said my mom told her, she said, Miss, I know you're just moving in, but we don't back moving trucks up on your lawn, you know. So Jackie always teased me because she said, you know, I was just wondering, she came to me, she didn't know me from nobody, and you know, she told me that. So, but we make fun of that and laugh. So, but now that's what some people do now. They see me, like say Jackie. We have a couple more.
Yeah.
Because when things happen, you know, I'm calling some of my neighbors like Jackie. Oh, did you see what went on last night? No, we were asleep. Oh, what happened? I would tell them.
Right
So
job.
so like I said, that's what a lot of people do. A friend of mine, Marty, down the street, I think he knows more than I do. Because he calls and
You'll
tells
have
me,
to compare notes.
right, you know, he tells me things, what goes on. So,
That's
but like I said, I try to be neighborly, because when we moved over here, one thing my mom told me was, whenever you move somewhere, get to know 5 neighbors.
Mm,
The ones on each side of you, the
mhm,
one right across the street from you, and the one on each side of that neighbor,
mm,
because they will look out for you.
yes.
And that's the way it was. You know, my neighbor on the right side of me, I mean, one of the best neighbors. They was older than my mom and everything. They're good people, real good people.
Yeah.
Watched out for you and
Mm,
everything. Nowadays, like I said, I'm still pretty young, as I call it. But I mean, you go to bed one night and the next morning you got a new neighbor that you never ever knew.
yeah, well, we try to keep our connections in Moreland. This is one of the ways that we do this, you know,
Mhm.
witness to history, and just again, you know, your point about getting to know the people who are right close to you, and then it spreads. Then
Right, right.
and I want to read this note that Donna Johnson put here for everybody, because these are, you know, because you're on the same street, and then we'll wrap up. She says Gladys was the former mayor. She influenced all of us. She came to Shaker first as a maid from the South, given to them at age 16. She then learned how to invest money and purchase land in Shaker herself. She was given to a white family. She would teach us about life and how to thrive as African Americans. And then she makes a comment about Marty. Marty stays in his folks' business. Marty stays in folks' business. Lovingly. She said lovingly. Okay. Yeah, that's good. So this is wonderful. I want to ask, you know, if anybody who's on, you know, wants to make any comments before we wrap up this evening.
I'll have one.
Yeah.
I didn't know Jasmine was your daughter. I work with her at Boulevard.
No, she graduated from Warrensville.
Okay.
She did. She went to Shaker for 1 year and kind of got bad grades, and her mama made her come back to Warrensville.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And I see that Sam and Mrs. Hooper.
Yes, Sam and I both enjoyed your presentation very much.
I remember you.
Earlene Hooper, and my husband was Lorenzo Hooper, and this is my son, Lorenzo Jr.
Okay.
But he said he doesn't remember you. I guess
He was younger.
he was younger. Okay. Anyway, I want to tell you how much I admire your memory. You remember so well, and your goals in life were to be in the service and to be a Mason.
Yes.
And the Mason really caught my eye because my ears too, of course, because my grandfather was a Mason in Alabama, and they did so many wonderful things even then to help other people, giving service, and that's what you have continued to do, and I think that's wonderful. we all need to spread good news like that and help other people when you can, and that's what you're doing. Thank you for your story.
Oh, thank you. And I just want to say this, if I'm correct, I forgot the name of the book, but the book that came out about Shaker, I think I saw your picture in there.
Yes.
If I'm correct, because when I saw it was going through, I'm like, I remember her. I remember.
Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you
you're
very
very
much.
welcome.
And I want to make sure I read this again from Donna Johnson, because this is to you, Mrs. Hooper. It says, I remember Miss Hooper. She's a community icon. She has inspired me with her example.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
Is here with
Keep
us.
on living like I'm trying to live.
Yes, God bless you. Absolutely. Well, this was absolutely wonderful. This was absolutely wonderful. And I mean, you have so much history here in Shaker and your memory, and just there were other things that we had talked about that we didn't even touch on, this evening. But I want to thank you so much for being our guest on Witness to History this evening. So
Well,
now,
I would like to thank you for having me. I really enjoyed myself.
yeah. And I see Pam unmuted here, Pamela Fletcher.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for filling in the backstory, because Marty and Eric are my go-to people. If anything is going on Menlo that I don't know, I know the two of them can fill me in. I just want you to know you guys are the mayors of Menlo now, and I appreciate you both.
Okay, I thank you.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. Wow. Here we are. Thank you again, Eric Brown. And I'm going to talk to you because I want to talk to your wife too.
Okay.
So everybody knows that that I am always looking for guests for Witness to History. I can let you know that Jakisha Durham will be our guest. So please mark your calendar for January 12th. January 12th. I want to make sure I have that date right. Yeah, January 12th. Jakisha Durham will be our guest. Really will be a very exciting interview. And here's my telephone number and my email address. I really appreciate also that our Moreland friends share with me or make contact with their neighbors and introduce Witness to History to them. So I'll just follow up with anybody who's willing to be our guest. So this was a wonderful evening. But I want to say before, we close this evening that it's December, it's holiday season. And so I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you're celebrating, bringing this 2024 year to a close. It's been an interesting one. We're looking forward to 2025, and I want to wish everyone a wonderful evening. Thank you, and thank you. A special thank you to you, Eric Brown. Thank you for being here. This was wonderful.
Like I said, I thank you, and the same to everybody else. I hope y'all have a beautiful holiday.
Yes. Happy New Year, everybody.
All right.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.